There she goes. So I had the pleasure of having Deb in my congregation for quite some time, and we did a lot of discovering together and a lot of growing together. To give you a little background on me, I did grow up in Unity, absolutely. And it's saved my life. I can't tell you how many times. I'm just so curious about you guys. How many of you have been in Unity, if you would raise a hand, more than a year? Okay, keep your hand up if it's more than 5 years. Okay, keep your hand up if it's more than 10. Ooh, keep your hand up if it's more than 15. And keep your hand up if it's more than 20. Oh my gosh, 30? And 40? And 50? Oh my goodness, we have some lifers. All right, now those of you that still have your hands up, you just shout it out. How long? Oh, and I can't hear. So somebody's gonna have to, oh darn it, I need somebody to tell me how long, or show me with your hands.
55.
55.
56.
56? Oh, well, I've been 53, so so I'm close, but not quite that long. That is fantastic. I was wondering what I was going to find when I asked that. Thank you for humoring me in that, because something that is such a blessing in being in unity for a very long time is, we have this set of beliefs, that 5 principles. We've got 12 powers if people ascribe to the 12 powers. We have this overall belief system that can really save your life over and over and over again if you allow it, and it can make such a difference in the way that life shows up for you. And that's part of being new in things, for me, or at least it always has been, in growing up in unity. So these 5 principles, if we know that number 1, God is everything, well, kind of like end of discussion. What else do we need to do? Well, we happen to be in skin. So just knowing that you're inside of God and God is everything doesn't get you all the way there sometimes, even though we might hope it would. So we know that God is the allness. God is everything, not some white guy sitting on a cloud somewhere messing with us and trying to trip us up, or have us do the right thing or fall short so he can punish us. It's not a he. It's the allness of beingness. And if we know and if we believe that everything happens inside of God, well, that absolutely is going to alter the way that life shows up. Principle 2, we're a part of that Godness, not like a raisin in a bun, but as a wave in the ocean, or as a cell in the body. We are a part of what God is. It helps me remember every breath I take, I'm breathing God, because God is the breath as well. So if we can know that not only can we not be separate from it, but that it is a part of the very fabric of existence of who and what I am, well, for me, that changes everything about the way that I show up for what shows up for me. Principle 3, we know that we're creating this existence. Now, look, we're all adults here, right? I can say shit happens. Okay. I said it from your platform virtually. Maybe you'll never have me there in person because I did. But look, stuff happens. And we don't want to be stepping into metaphysical malpractice and saying, oh no, I am the creator of everything that happens in my existence. There is stuff happening that feels a lot like it's coming at us. And when we are in the midst of feeling like things are coming at us, if we can know we're in God, we're not just in it, we're a part of it, and that we are creating our existence by the thoughts and beliefs we are holding. That's principle 3. So when I can remember that, I can say all day, I am rich, I am prosperous, I am a thriving human being. Here I am to thrive in 2025. And if when I'm saying that, what's going on inside my head is, oh, I don't feel good today. I'm just tired. I don't I don't deserve good things. I don't have enough money to pay my bills, and I don't know if I'm ever going to. I can say those words all day out loud, but if that's my belief system underneath, principle number 3 is at work, and I'm creating what's showing up. And the universe does not speak English, it speaks energy. And so that universe is responding to the energy underneath everything we're doing and saying. So part of our responsibility in the belief system of unity is identifying the belief system that is driving this vehicle. If we can identify the beliefs that are in charge, not the stuff coming out of here, but the beliefs that are in charge behind it all, that is going to be absolutely creative force in our life. That's principle 3. Principle 4, we know that we create, we step into that connection with the divine within the fabric of the universe. We step in that divine connection within prayer and meditation. And then principle 5, in 4, we're getting our guidance. We're welcoming the messages that are coming in for us from that source that we know we are in and a part of. And then principle 5, based on 1, 2, 3, 4, we take our inspired actions from there. The trick is to go from 1 to 5, right? Like, if we start off, I'm just going to stop and pray right now. I'm going to stop and pray. But if we're praying from that place of, I am in crisis, God help me. Oh, please, God, just help me. We are not standing in principle 1 that says God is the allness, principle 2 that says I'm a part of it and I'm already in it. We don't need to reach outside of ourselves for something to come and save us. God's here. We're in it. We're breathing it. We're a part of it. And so we get to step into that possibility moving forward. Now, July 2nd is the midpoint of the year. We're halfway there. So now I don't know about you guys. I guess another show of hands. Do any of you do resolutions? If you make resolutions, raise a hand. Okay. Yeah. I'm right there with you. um, do anybody set an intention for the year? Okay. All right. A third question for hands. Does anybody do a white stone service? Has anybody ever done a white? All right. So we've got a lot of that as well. So here's the thing. Knowing that God is the allness and that we're a part of it. Things like Happy New Year and a manufactured January 1st date that tells us, woohoo, brand new beginning. We get to do something new or be something new now. Hey, one day is just another day, right? But at the same token, there are times, because of the way we've created this paradigm of time, where the whole world is saying, guess what? It's a brand new day and I get to do a brand new thing. And Charles Fillmore talked about race consciousness. He did not mean the color of our skin. He meant that collective conscious that we are all a part of, that people are creating this world around us with their beliefs. We're a part of that creation, and we're creating also with our beliefs. So within that collective conscious, sometimes we can use that to our advantage. If you know that the whole world around the clock is counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and everyone has that feeling of newness and that juicy excitement about becoming new, why not borrow some of that energy? Because we know it's all energy, right? When it comes down to it, everything is energy. And so if we can tap into those kinds of conscious things that people are doing, and I'll add to that groundswell of energy and allow it to inform us, hey, why not, right? Why not just jump in and take part of it? Deb mentioned that white stone. And, I remember watching Deb getting ready to go to Colorado, or for you guys to come to Colorado. And I remember we spent a lot of time talking about possibilities, a lot of time in the details of leaving. and what it would take to get there and all the pieces that needed to slide into place. And there was a lot of excitement and at the same time, a lot of trepidation and fear and a lot of wondering about what would become. Deborah knows, and Deborah has worked harder than almost anybody I have had the pleasure of growing with in Unity. Deborah has worked so hard to cultivate an existence based on the strength and belief of faith and of showing up wholeheartedly to what can be. That's one of the gifts of Unity. That's one of the gifts of stepping into a new year. So every year, I grab on to the half year point as another restart, as a time to go, woohoo, happy mid-year, and to take a look back at my white stone and to see if I'm just using this as a paperweight at this point or if I'm paying attention to it. Now, I use my white stone every year. What I do, mine comes a little early because I'm part of the white stone service. So while I'm doing the service, I don't really get a chance to really go in deep into meditation and create my word. I've been doing this for so many years now that it's kind of a part of my DNA, and my body by Christmas is starting to formulate what the next year is going to be about. And I take it very seriously. And when I create that white, or when I open to the white stone word, I don't know about you guys, a lot of you raised your hands that you've done white stone. I don't know how many of you do what I do, which is argue with the word that shows up. but but I have had years where, like, for instance, my husband passed in 2021. It was a devastating thing for me. The bottom fell out of my life. I didn't know what I was going to do and where I was going to go, and even how I was going to make ends meet. 4 months before my husband passed, the minister at Unity of Sebring passed. I didn't know him. I didn't even know where Sebring was in Florida. I just knew it was a place I had heard of. And after Reverend Andy, who I've stepped in to walk in his legacy, after Reverend Andy passed, and then after my husband passed, you know, the ether and the world is always moving and the energy is always moving. And in that space of, I don't know what I'm going to do, a minister friend of mine said, you need to go speak at Unity of Sebring. And I said, why? And he said, they're going through the same thing you're going through. The bottom fell out of their life too, and they need to hear somebody like you speak. So I uncocooned myself out of my bed, because at that point, all I wanted to do was go to work and go to bed. That's what my life was: go to work, go to bed, grieve all the way through. When we authentically show up to things like that, when we authentically go through the grief process, and there is grief and celebration sometimes as well. If you're going to a new home or a new job, even if it's a wonderful, great thing, or you're getting ready to move in with someone, or you're getting a celebrating a birth, there is a celebration, and there is also a leaving of what has been. And if you authentically make room for that process, knowing God is all, I'm a part of it. My belief about this is going to change what happens in this. I can pray and meditate anytime I feel like I am disconnected, and then take inspired actions based on what I receive. Whew, you can breathe a little bit easier. And that's where I was. I was in this space of, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going, but gosh, I'm here for it, because I've grown up in Unity, and my Unity muscles are pretty well developed to help me through these things. Like many of you who have been in here for years, we know what we're practicing. It is like muscles. It is like working something that we know how to work. And I was leaning on my faith, and this opportunity to come and speak happened. And when I showed up at Unity of Sebring, if I were not so deep in grief, I would have realized it was going to be my home. It took a little while, but ultimately I realized it was going to be my home. And now us two widows, the widow of the minister that was here before me and me, are creating and moving with Unity of Sebring together to honor both of our husbands' legacies, and to move forward into our future. With the white stone, it gives us an opportunity to grab onto, and you can do this today. You can do this tomorrow. You can go home and get a white stone or get a piece of paper or whatever it is and go into a time, which we're going to do after I stop talking. We're going to go into a little meditation, but you can go into a time of an opening, and that gentle, not a demand, not what do I do now? But that gentle, what is opening in front of me? What can I open to? Even if I'm a little afraid of it, what if I can, what can I open to give me possibility? And that's something that this white stone touchstone can do. Every year I set it right next to my desk and I check in every year. And every year I fight with the word that shows up, thinking that surely I know better what it is I'm going to need to do in the year, and it'll just keep tugging at you if you genuinely open to that inquiry of what is next for me? What is mine to do? What's tugging at me? What's asking me to step into being more? That's the word that's going to show up, and I encourage you to honor it. This year, my white stone word, I don't even know if you can see it from there, is indwell, because like Deborah, I'm a little ADHD. I tend to be, and I don't think she'd care that I said that. Both of us are what I like to call squirrel people. You know, we'll be in a very serious conversation with you, completely immersed, and then, oops, squirrel or shiny, as my kids say, Mom, shiny, and I'll head off in a direction for something new and different, because it's also juicy to explore, right? There's always something cool that we can learn and do and move in. And so because of that, this white stone allows me to continue to anchor, and this word this year, indwell. There's a thing people call grief brain or widow brain, or I see people nodding, and I've always hated that term. I can't stand the term widow either, so we'll just be with that, right? It gives us an opportunity to open to something we don't necessarily want to embrace. And paperwork, that's what I'm called right now. And so I embrace it and I use it. And I have widowly wonderings now that I never had before, because now I'm a widow, and it allows me to open. But that indwell, this year, it's been all about that for me. Here I am at mid-year, and it has grown me listening to that white stone word and remembering to be present in the present, to be present with the presence, to pay attention to where I am right now, and to answer the call that continues to rise up. For me, stepping into Unity of Sebring has been a life altering, paradigm shifting, amazing growth opportunity that I get to share with others. And when we open, it gives us that possibility. So, well, what do I want to leave you with? I don't know what I want to leave you with. I'm not ready to leave you yet, but you're probably ready to move because you've been sitting for a long time. I'm so excited that we've all shown up today for this shared experience, that we're sitting here across the country from one another, using this technology that came about because of this horrible thing people called COVID and felt like the world might be ending, because we have opened to new and different possibilities, because we have chosen any day as the day to become new again and to do something new. It allows us to become something we've never been before. Like my friend Deborah, who showed up in your community and now has this beautiful opportunity to be in an amazing space. Where you guys live is stunningly beautiful, and God's country as well. I mean, I guess everywhere is God's country, right? We all get to be in that because we know God is it. But it allows us to show up at times consciously, on purpose, embracing this belief system that says we are here in these lovely little packages to explore our humanity while knowing the truth of our divinity underneath. So I spring forth to do a new and wonderful thing every day because I consciously choose to do that. That's your homework for this week. Find out where you are not allowing yourself to spring forth into a new thing. Every day we get to be new. And the bonus is we have all of our experiences, all of the things that we have learned and grown through to take with us into being new to something new, knowing we don't need to get rid of anything that's in there. You don't need to go to a burning bowl and burn the fact that you got mad. Guess what? Spoilers, you're going to get mad again. And it's going to be okay. Spoilers, you're going to get scared again. And it's going to be okay. And you're allowed because you're human. As long as you're human and in this skin suit, these are the things that we're here to dig into and dive into and to question why they're there for us. Why did that hurt? Why does that lady bug the heck out of me? Why does it drive me crazy if people turn the toilet paper the wrong way? Those are our growing edges. Those are our spaces and places where we get to look inside and say, I'm going to identify my belief system. Principle 3, so that what I take into prayer and meditation, principle 4, and what inspired actions are available to me, principle 5, are going to be the biggest and best they can be, because I know that God is the allness, that I am a part of it, and that God in me is what's creating moving forward, because I don't just allow it, I claim it with both hands and move forward into the future that I decide to create, guided by God. Does it make sense? I hope. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And I know we're going to meditate next, but thank you all so much for sitting with me and listening. Okay. And do we have a break before we move into a time of meditation? How does this transition happen with you guys?
Great time. This would be a good time, Trish.
Okay. All right. So shall we breathe together? Get into a comfy place, maybe wiggle off what I just said for just a moment and allow it to settle in. Because we're going to take this moment and we're going to claim the new. We're going to move with gentle yet purposeful attention from the space and the thoughts in our head to the space and the sacredness of our heart. If thoughts move through, we just let them. We don't fight anything that happens right now. We're breathing, we're moving, we're in this sacred container, and we are going to use it to create. And so as we breathe, we pay attention to the fact that we are breathing the very breath of God, and we allow that breath to feel different because of it. While we are breathing regularly, not forcing any specific pattern, just relaxing and regularly breathing, we're going to move into that anchored space, wherever you feel that in you, whether it's your heart, whether it's the back, the pit of the stomach, whatever it is, move into that anchored space where you feel source energy begin within. Get to that space and just leave our awareness anchored there while we reach into our imagination. And gently, without worry or concern, without agenda, we just gently move the inquiry into this space of what is next for me? What is calling me forward? What is the next amazing thing that I can step into? What might I be able to create if I just allowed myself to create it? And what makes my heart sing that I would like to try? We just breathe in those inquiries for a minute. We just allow them to move through us gently. And if something is arising, if there are words arising, if there are ideas coming, just let them flow through for just a moment in the silence. What is tugging on my heart? What is singing out from my soul, asking for me to honor it? What might I be if I allow myself to be free? What might I do if I allow myself to go through? I open, I embrace, I step into the new, bringing all the wonderful knowledge and all the many lessons I've learned in my past with me, honoring them, allowing them to be what they were while I become whatever it is that I might be. And as we go home today and as we go in the next days, if you have a moment and you have the inclination, take a moment to do that again and then write down what comes. Maybe spend 5 minutes writing down what comes and just allow it. And then have the bravery to step into the new and become the best, biggest, most joyous and wonderful you. And so it is. We thank you. We come back and we say amen. And so it is. Thank you.